Okay, so we're down at the town hall. We're about to have an extraordinary meeting of councillors. Why is that? Well, the reason why we're doing that is because you may have read or heard that the Conservatives have lost their overall majority. Now, unfortunately, the aspect of fairness doesn't really exist here at the town hall. And so, because if it did, things would be done a little bit differently. The main thing we're talking about tonight is the scrutiny committee that are chaired at the moment by Tories. We, as opposition councillors, because the majority of councillors are now opposition, feel that they should be chaired by opposition councillors, as is the way in other authorities in regards to scrutiny. Scrutiny, in theory, cannot be done by the same person. So if the Conservatives are running the council, in theory, the scrutiny should be done by the opposition councillors. Should be a no-brainer, but it doesn't work like that, as I say, in Peterborough. So tonight we'll be looking to put forward that idea that opposition councillors get a chance to chair scrutiny committees. However, I suspect the Conservatives will not be in favour of that idea. So it will probably go to a vote, and then it all comes down to who votes which way, and then
I think this is about principle. It's not, as Councillor Scrutiny seems to want to make it to be about personality. It's about the common law principle that any committee or any group should have the right to choose its own chair. If we'd have wanted to make this about personality, we would have put forward a whole list of alternative chairs. We could have said that Councillor Khan should be chair of the Health Scrutiny Committee in replacement for Councillor Scrutiny. We're not doing that. We're trying to establish a principle that a committee should be allowed to choose its own chair. Now, we have in the past deviated from that principle on occasions. Where the council has been under majority control, it's been recognised that, as a matter of fact, the leader of the council and the controlling group is going to choose who chairs the meeting, so we may as well do that at full council rather than doing it in the committees. But, you know, I think the leader is in a state of denial about what has happened. This council is, by whatever margin, it is now under no overall control. So it must behave like it is under no overall control. And a key point of that is giving the right of a committee to choose its own chair. Now, whether they choose a Conservative, whether they choose a Labour person or a Liberal Democrat, they have the opportunity...
Councillor Sanders, can I stop you just a second? Sorry to interrupt. There's one meeting going on, not two, at the back. Please, could you confine it to the meeting?
Can I explain that? We're getting abused from this man. Constant abuse.
Councillor Murphy, as I said earlier, play nicely. I mean, we've got to play and have respect for everyone in this council chamber. Sorry about that, Councillor Stafford, would you continue?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm not being abusive. I'm trying to put a logical, sensible...
I didn't say you were.
Councillor Bardi made a good point. He said what we need is some change, and Councillor Lane said that he didn't see the need for change. I think the very fact that we've moved away from an overall control into no overall control means that we do need to approach things in a slightly different way. And I was slightly disturbed by one of the things that Councillor Holditch said. He said, we want to appoint the chairs because we want to make sure that they're moving in the direction that we want them to. Now, that goes totally against the principle of what scrutiny is supposed to be about. It's not supposed to be supporting the administration, it's supposed to be challenging them. And a number of years ago, we had a report by Price Waterhouse, the independent auditing organisation, which said that in order to improve the effectiveness of scrutiny in Peterborough, what we should do is we should appoint some opposition chairs. And I think that is exactly what we ought to do. Somebody mentioned earlier parliamentary committees. They have a system whereby their chairs are chosen by secret ballot. So sometimes it's an administration chair, sometimes it's an opposition chair. So I think those principles are well established. But there's one word I've got to mention, which is maybe slightly controversial. The word is patronage. Because we have to recognise, whatever you think of our members' allowances system, these chairs are actually effectively being employed by the leader of the council. He is paying them a significant allowance for chairing. So that is something that we need to bear in mind, and so we should be spreading responsibility rather than concentrating it in the hands of the Conservative group.
Well said, mate.
arises through membership of the council.
Yeah, but he knows that.
The amendment is defeated.
That we want to appoint our own chairs because we want to maintain the momentum going forward. Well, it is not the purpose of scrutiny to provide momentum for the administration. It is the purpose of scrutiny to hold the administration to account.